So as I said, we can borrow a bit more. So it helps those that have got slightly smaller deposits. I think the biggest problem across the board with all of my clients is lack of available funds. That's not to say that these people don't have cash or that they don't have access to money, but a lot of the time they're trying to do multiple properties at the same time. So keeping cash back is really, really important. And we actually had probably my richest client, if I'm completely honest, came to me recently, and we did this 90% refurb bridge. And you might be thinking, well, hang on, if he's that rich, why has he not got some cash available? Well, the reason for it was he's in the middle of trying to acquire a hotel and wanted to allocate a bit more cash to that because the rates were going to be more expensive on that particular project. So this was a little tart and turn for him that he found on the side. So we ended up borrowing a little bit more. So it helps those that are maybe not cash rich at the moment and need to borrow that little bit more. So how this actually works in principle is that the lender's still lending you 75%, but the additional 10 or 15% is meant to be a contribution towards the cost of your refurb. How it actually works is they just lend it to you all day one. So it might as well be 85 to 90%. That's actually how it works. But that extra is meant to be for a refurb. So if you were just acquiring a property and you needed to do it quickly, but that was the only reason, this type of product wouldn't be available to you. You'd have to go with just a standard bridge if speed was the need for going for that kind of finance. These products are for those where you're going to be adding value, but they are only for light refurbishment. So nothing structural, nothing too heavy. If you're going to be moving walls around, even to potentially, putting new windows in, certainly an extension, loft conversions, they're going to be out of the question. We're talking about your standard cosmetic, new kitchen, new bathroom, basic HMO conversions can be included in that. And that's one of the ones, that's one of the cases we've done recently. A client is purchased a 3-bedroom house and they're turning it into a 5-bedroom HMO that they're going to be renting out for via a social housing provider. So the refurb they're doing is actually not that great because the spec doesn't need to be that high. So we've actually been able to get this on the 85% refurbishment bridge product, which has really helped this particular client. So as I said before, all of these funds are released on completion. So one thing you just do need to bear in mind as well is, unlike a development finance product, which we went through, I think, last month or month before, where you're getting a lump sum towards the purchase and then a separate facility that you'll draw down on throughout the build. So you kind of push back the time that you start paying interest on it, because you only pay interest when you draw it down. All these funds are released up front, so you do start paying interest on them from day one. So that's going to have an effect on your bottom line. So something just to be cautious about, but a really, really good product, to be honest. And as I said, one thing as a bit of a caveat, I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't advise that the more you borrow, obviously the higher the cost of funds will get, not least of all the cost in terms of interest rate. By the way, that's one thing I haven't added on here, are the interest rates you can expect to pay. They vary from the 85%, around 0.85% a month, all the way up to the 90%, which is about 1.25% a month, which I think I mentioned previously on the 90% product. So they do vary, and the cost can be a bit higher than the standard bridge. And as I said, the more you borrow, the more impact it's going to have on your bottom line. So makes it even more important to really look at your figures and be comfortable with them, and have a clear exit strategy that's going to still allow you to make the ROIs that you're looking for.